Hey guys, just wanted to welcome everyone to our Sew Loka tutorial video on a reversible tote. This is the beginner sewing lesson, so I just wanted to say hi and welcome. Okay, so what you will need as supplies is half a yard of contrast fabric and then another half a yard of your outer fabric. You will need pins, some fabric scissors, trimmers, chalk, your webbing, and a ruler or measuring tape. And don't forget, you'll definitely need a coffee from VIDA, preferably. So I recommend their horchata latte or a nice refreshing tea. So what you will need to do is cut a 16 by 16. So I will be using my L-shaped ruler to create these nice sharp squares, and we will mark. So remember, 16 by 16. So this is for our outer fabric, and then we'll do our liner right after. So we're ready to cut, so we will cut. And this fabric I always recommend for beginners is cotton fabric, and you might want to pre-wash your fabric. Okay, so we have our 16 by 16 inch square. Okay, so now we're gonna cut our liner fabric. So this is what's going to be inside of the bag. So we got our 16 by 16. Now we will cut our 27-inch strap. Alright, so the first thing sewing wise that we will do is center our fabric. So by centering our fabric, we will actually fold it in half and fold it in half again. And then I like to do like a little notch here. So when you open up your fabric, you will have two little notches there, and that would be your point for your handles. And I'm also going to do it on the other side, and you'll do the same thing for your other piece of the tote bag. Okie dokie. So what I always like to do is I always like to come from under and then push up and then have at least half an inch of your webbing at the top. And you're going to bring up your other handle, and we're going to do the same thing. Mark it with your pin like that, and then we'll start to sew them on now. We're going to go forward and then back and then forward again. And then we're going to do the same thing for this handle. Forward, back, forward. And so now you have your handles sewn on. So we'll put this guy on the side for right now, and we're going to sew our other side of the tote. So remember, I'm going to push it up, leave half an inch of the webbing, and I'm using a 1.5 inch size webbing, but you could use basically whatever. So if you are sewing two handles, you're going to do this 4 times. So you now have your straps sewn on to both of your pieces. We're going to grab our fun striped fabric, and we're going to lay it right on top. So we're going to lay it and pin. I usually just like to use about 4 pins. So what I like to do, and this is a pro tip, is I always like to sew it on the side where we sewed our handles. So if you could see here, you see the stitch from where we sewed our webbing. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you sew on the left side of it, so like that you don't see any of these stitches on your finished product. And now your two pieces will look like this. So see how you don't see any of the stitching on either side? And again, you will have two pieces. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to sew our two pieces together. So I always like to lay them next to each other like this, and then I kind of just flip them right on top. And so what I always do is I pin them here together so they're both matching. So I'm gonna pin that, and that's always where I start, and then I work my way down. This is one of the best projects to start on because it'll definitely make you want to continue sewing. All right, we're gonna sew. So we sewed that part. Now we are going to do the same thing for the other side. So we're going to match them at the center where they meet and pin. Work our way down. So now you're going to sew the other side. So now you have both the longest part of the piece here, both of those are sewn together, and now we're going to sew this bottom piece. If this is the piece that you're going to be using for your outer fabric, I do recommend that you sew that area. If it's not going to be the piece that you're going to be using for your outer fabric, then don't sew it, and there you'll see why right now. But this is going to be my main fabric for the outside of the bag. I'm going to go back and forth to reinforce my corner. Back and forth. So now I have my two pieces sewn together, and we have our opening here. Okay, so this is our liner fabric. So my liner fabric, your liner fabric will also have an opening. That's the one that we're gonna have an opening, okay? So we're gonna give birth to our bag now. So we're gonna flip it inside out. And this is the part where everyone always gets pretty surprised when they start to see how the bag starts to look. They're like, wow, I didn't think it was gonna look this good. But yeah. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna close our liner. So we will pull this liner back out. So your liner should be opened. That's the only part that we didn't sew. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold in, I would say like 1/2 inch or maybe a little bit more. So we're gonna pin. I usually like to start on both ends and then kind of work my way in. It just makes it a little easier. But whatever works for you, no judgments. And now we're gonna sew that. We're gonna go back and forth. And back and forth. And now we are going to insert our liner back in. And what we are going to do, which will be our final step, is to do our top stitch. So I'm going to pin at the top here all the way around. So now we have our whole bag and it has pins all the way around. Okay? So now we're going to do our top stitch. So we're going to start at that seam. And we're going to go all the way around. Since it is a bag, you're going to have to adjust. And then here they will meet again. And I just like to do like a quick back and forth. So now we're gonna remove the pins all the way around. So before we say we are done, we're gonna go around and we're gonna look for little pieces of thread. Make sure that there isn't any loose threads or anything like that, including our liner. So you have officially finished your reversible tote bag. You should pat yourself in the back. Not a lot of people could do this, and you did. So check it out. There you go.
Yay, Mom, thank you. I got my own bag that Claudia made. You can do whatever you want with this bag. It's super cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.